You tried every single thing and you keep failing, and it's not because you are lazy, it's just because you are following a broken weight loss system. And in this video, I'm going to share 5 mistakes that ambitious professionals like yourself at your heaviest weight are doing and what you should do instead. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell to get notified whenever I'm making a new video about weight loss advice every single week. And also make sure that you hit the like button. I used these strategies to lose 60 pounds in 8 months and kept it off for 13 years. And I've helped dozens of men and women just like you lose up to 60 pounds and finally escape the yo-yo dieting cycle. And if you're tired of constantly losing and gaining the same weight, I want to help you get to your healthy self without giving up the foods that you love. The very first mistake you're making when you're trying to lose weight is that you are setting your calorie intake way too high. When you are on a weight loss journey, you want to set it like properly. So I always focusing on maintenance calories, where you are maintaining your weight by eating the calories that you need. But if you are eating like 500 or 1,000 calories over, you are just focusing on eating way more than your body needs. So it's automatically just packing on more weight, and over a long period of time, like 10 years or 20 years, you're just gaining more weight. You're not even noticing it. So be in a smaller calorie deficit, like 200 or 300 calories is just good enough for you to still have your mental focus, you have energy to work on your job, and you still have not so out of control of your appetite. Because if you are someone who are eating way too much than compared to what you really need, you are just not having so much energy. You are probably just feeling very sluggish all the time because you are just feeding your body more than it needs. And it's just devastating for you if you are someone who are working this full-time job and you really hate how you look yourself in the mirror and pictures, and you feel embarrassed when you are getting asked if you want to go to networking events and talking with new people, and you are just constantly worrying about what other people might think about you. And that also translates when you're in the boardroom and trying to give up the presentation that you've been preparing for months, but you feel silly that you have a stomach that's bulging out over your pants, and you feel shy when you're trying to introduce a new project. But people in the boardroom are just feeling that you're not so confident when you are portraying your messages, because you feel like you are not comfortable in your own skin, and it just shines through. So I always recommend that you start out very slowly when you are on a weight loss journey, because it's more like a marathon than a sprint. Because if you feel like you have to rush losing weight, you're just ending, instead of eating 2,000 calories to be in a maintenance calories, and you are thinking, okay, the less I eat and the more workouts I'm doing, the faster I'm losing weight. I'll just say that the first couple of weeks, if you are even able to stick to that, you are going to lose weight, but long term, you're just going to crash diet. For example, if you have a 1,800 calories, that is you putting in a calorie deficit of 200 calories, and then you drop it down to 500 or 1,000 calories for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, it's not going to help you in the long run, because you are feeling that you're depriving yourself of food and your energy level is just crashing. And it makes it very hard to stick to the workout plan with weight training 5 times a week and doing the cardio sessions. So that is just what you want to be aware of as the first mistake that you're doing. And what you should do is just following a very simple diet where you have 200 calories in deficit, you have a 45% of your daily calories coming from protein, because high protein diet helps you maintain your hunger level. You are maintaining a lot of muscle, you're even building more muscle, and the more muscle you have, the faster you lose weight. And also having a sustainable carb ratio of 40% of the daily calories coming from carbs, because carbs are essentially just helping you, giving you a lot of energy. And especially after you've been working out, you're breaking down a lot of the muscle tissues, so you want to replenish your, for example, your glycogen stores with more carbs, so you're feeling recovered faster, and you also have more sustainable energy levels throughout the day, so you are not spending your days feeling sluggish. And the rest is just fat. So I'm always focusing on a low fat diet, because if you are someone who are following a calorie deficit diet, you want to feel full whenever you are eating, and not feeling that if you have 3 meals a day, you are probably just, if you're not aware of having low calorie foods, then you can eat way more for the amount of calories compared to if you're eating a lot of high fat foods like eating a lot of bacon and high fat and ground beef and high fat turkey or chicken. That's just consuming a lot of the calories you have to eat. So I always recommend like lean chicken breast, ground beef like 3-4%, salmon, tuna. It's very low in calories and high in protein and low in fat, so you are feeling fuller longer throughout the day. Next biggest mistake you're making is that even though you have your calorie intake, let's say, properly set, let's imagine that you have 2000 calories to be in a maintenance calories, you're putting like 200 calories below. But the problem is that if you are not being very specific and very accurate with how you're weighing your food, it's going to backfire, because small errors when you are weighing your food is making up throughout the day. So you are probably just not having a 200 calorie deficit diet, but you are actually shooting it up way over with like 700 calories. And the reason why you want to be very aware of how you're weighing your food is there's a lot of difference when it comes to, for example, food that is weighed in dry state and food that is weighed in cooked state. The reason is if you are weighing food in a cooked state, that can backfire in a way that it's not always the same amount of calories that are being in the food. For example, if you have 100 grams of pasta and you're cooking it, then the amount of water you're putting in can be very different compared to every single day. So I always recommend that if you want to be on the safe side, you want to focusing on weighing your food in a dry state, because that's just easier to calculate that, and then just putting some water in to boil it. And that is helping you having a very accurate way to track the amount of pasta you're eating every single day. And also, if you are someone who are just having small snacks throughout the day and you are not adding that to the amount of calories you're eating, that also makes you focusing on having a lot of more calories that you actually need. So I always recommend that you are making 1 or 2 diet plans where you're following that every single day, and sometimes after 2 or 3 days you're just rotating the diet plan, because it can be a bit bland sometimes just eating the same things. So by rotating it makes you increase your motivation, and it doesn't feel like you are on a weight loss plan. And if you're on a weight loss plan, you should definitely also focusing on having a mindset shift where this is a lifestyle change. Sometimes if you're feeling the weight loss plans are being very boring, sometimes it's just not having so much attachment to the foods that you're eating, because if you are an emotional eater, I used to be that, you can feel that if you are happy, you're sad, you want to indulge in food, but that's very unhealthy way to look at weight and also being healthy. So I always focusing on having a lot of the foods helping me with like fuel for the day. So if you are considering it, you are a car or machine that needs some fuel, that makes it easier to detach yourself from food and not feeling so you're not focusing so much on that, and you could take out new hobbies where you are doing other things that instead of focusing on the food every single day. And if you are someone who are also on relying on cheat meals, cheat days, that can also go into screw up your weight loss plan, because I always recommend like after 1 or 2 weeks where you're following your diet plan to a T, you are eating the same amount of calorie deficit every single day, and you're following 5 times a weight loss workout with strength training in the gym, you're doing 4 or 5 sessions of cardio like on a cross trainer or stationary bike. And the reason for that is you want to burn more calories by expanding even more. There's some resistance compared to if you're just walking on a treadmill without anything that is helping you burn even more calories. So by doing these things and also having 6,000 steps a day, you will lose weight, and eventually your metabolism will decrease. And by throwing in a calorie high meal with 700 calories, that is going to increase your metabolism through a couple of days, and you'll look even leaner the next day. So that's what I definitely recommend for you. I would love to know, what is your biggest takeaway? Just comment below and let me know. And the third mistake you're making on your weight loss journey is if you are someone who is trying to eating clean 24/7, that's just going to cut it, because a lot of people like myself, I used to have a lot of cravings, but I also wanted to make sure that my weight loss plan, like my diet, was tailoring to foods that I really enjoy. Of course, you also need to have like at least 9% of the foods that you are eating being something that you enjoy, and you can also indulge in 10% of the foods from foods that you have calories for that, as long as you are hitting your calorie deficit and also your macros are just protein, carbs, and fat. So if you are someone who are trying to lose weight and you're thinking that eating chicken, rice, broccoli, that is the thing that you need to eat every single day, and you are not able to go out and eat with your family or eating anything else, that is just going to be a very boring life, and it's just not long-term sustainable. So I always recommend that when you are on a weight loss journey, you have a coach on your side that can help educate you in regards to what kind of foods that's going to be enjoyable for you to eat. For example, I can share a bit about my meal plans. I always focusing on eating 3 meals a day. I usually work out fasted in the morning because I don't like to eat anything before I'm going to the gym. I'm drinking like a liter of water when I wake up, and then I break my fast like after I've been working out. So let's say I'm going to bed 9 or 10 p.m. the day before. I have some Greek yogurt, and then I sleep till 7. I wake up drinking a liter of water, then I work out fasted, and then I break my fast with the first meal with a lot of food. That could be like my biggest meal of the day, because I've been breaking down a lot of muscle tissues from working out with strength training. And then I eat 200 grams lean chicken breast, 4 eggs, 100 grams of salmon. Then I eat 4 pieces of whole wheat bread, because that's just high in fiber and also slow digestible and high fiber diets are going to help you sustain your blood sugar very smooth throughout the day, and it's also make you feel very full. From you don't need to eat that much, just a couple of these whole wheat bread is going to help you sustain your energy levels for a longer time, and you also have way more foods that you can eat. And then I'm having a protein shaker with 60 grams of whey protein, 400 grams of skimmed milk, then a cookie. And some of these treat foods are going to help you stimulate your cravings, so you're not indulging. And I don't feel the urge to binge eat because I'm eating foods that I really enjoy. And then I wait 6 hours, for example, 5-6 hours before my next meal, and that can be like 100 grams of pasta, 100 grams of veggies, and 200 grams of tuna, 1 or 2 eggs, and 1 cookie. So I always throw in a couple of cookies, because eating whole foods can be very bland if you're eating that every single meal. So having some sweets can just make you stimulate your cravings. If you're someone just like myself who used to be very overweight and eating junk food, cookies, donuts all the time, and it made me feel very uncomfortable. So just making sure that if you have a big appetite, you maybe can try intermittent fasting, because that's got helping you with eating smaller meals but higher in calories instead of 5 small meals. I don't have the time, nor I am interested in eating all the time and prepping all this food. That's just way easier for me to stick to my diet plan, and I've been using the intermittent fasting way of eating for 13 years now. And the last meal is just a very small meal that is high in protein and low in calories. That could be like 9 p.m. when I'm going to bed. So I definitely recommend that you are eating foods around your taste buds, but also taking in the consideration options of your coach that can help you hit your macros. That is just very difficult to do if you have no knowledge of what kind of foods that's going to be helpful for you in the long run. Mistake 4 is just the opposite of eating clean all the time. That is you eating too much cheat meals. When you are in a calorie deficit, you are following a calorie deficit diet, 200, 300 calories, and sustaining that over a long period of time, you lose weight all around your body. That could be from your face, your abs, your arms, butt, and it's very different from where people are losing weight the first. So you just have to be patient and track your weight every single week. I always focusing on hopping on a scale on an empty stomach after I do my thing at the toilet Monday morning, and then I'm weighing myself without any clothes. That gives me a more estimated, accurate way of tracking my weight and having body measurements and pictures. I'm taking that every fourth week. But also, you are working out and focusing on the cardio, that also putting you in an additional calorie deficit. So through your diet, you're in a calorie deficit, and also through the workouts, cardio steps, you are in a calorie deficit. So if you are someone who is just going overboard in eating cheat meals every single 2-3 days, the calorie deficit you work so hard for is going to be erased. And let's imagine that you are someone who needs to hit a certain milestone before you go on a holiday, and you're constantly throwing all these cheat meals that's just necessary. That's also going to be very difficult because you are just erasing the calorie deficit you have been trying to create throughout the week. And that sets you back maybe like a 1 week or 2 week, but sometimes it can be beneficial if you are being very accurate with the cheat meals. I don't believe in cheat days because you're eating way too many calories that your body really needs, and also makes you feel very sluggish, that you are feeling so bloated, a lot of water retention. For every gram of carbs you're eating, there are 3-4 grams of water attached. So if you're eating too many carbs, you're just ending up bloating up, and you feel disgusted and don't feel comfortable in your body. So I always recommend like 700 calories above your maintenance, like above the calories you're eating for the day. Let's say you're eating 1800 calories, then you're eating 700 calories for the cheat meal. And that could be like after every single week. That could also be depending if you're feeling that you can push through like a week more, so maybe every second week. But it depends on how your body looks and how much progress you've made. So I definitely recommend that you are talking with your coach in regards to what to do. And if the goal is to have a lean to muscular body, so you feel very confident talking in front of clients and doing presentations and have all the career opportunities, that definitely will help you. And if you're someone who's been struggling with losing weight for decades because you're losing weight and gaining the same weight back by indulging in too many cheat meals, that can also be a sign that your weight loss diet is just not going to help you, because you are feeling that you're depriving yourself of foods that you really enjoy. So if you are eating too clean, that's going to make you snap, and you're not feeling that you are getting nutrition, and in, for example, focusing on the taste but being satisfied. So if you are incorporating some of the foods that you really enjoy, that can help you. The fifth mistake you are making is that you are not drinking enough water. By not drinking enough water, you are in a calorie deficit, and it makes you feel hungrier for longer. And when you are in a calorie deficit, your body is signaling a lot of hunger signals to your body that makes you want to indulge in more food, because the body is definitely just designed to survive. And if you're in a calorie deficit, your body signals that it needs to do something about it because it thinks that it's going to die. So by tricking your body by drinking 3, 4, 5 liters of water every single day, with the meals that you're eating, you're spreading that out. You're feeling full every single meal, and also between the meals, you're having a high energy levels. You are feeling that the performance at work, at home is being more stable, and you are not feeling that you are struggling with dealing with the hunger pains and cravings late at night, which I used to deal with a lot. Is also being helpful because you are not feeling hungry. If you are feeling hungry, you can also drink like a Diet Coke that can satisfy your cravings, and that is without any, for example, calories. So by drinking more water every single day, I'll space it out so you're drinking most of the water like before 4 p.m. because if you're drinking after, you can disrupt your sleeping patterns and it makes it difficult to sleep. And the lower amount of sleep you are getting, the more difficult it can be that you are increasing your cortisol level. And the higher your cortisol level is, the more the body is trying to hold on to the fat store so you're not losing as much weight. So if you are someone who wants to become the most healthy version of yourself, just like me and my clients that you saw in the beginning of the video, there's a link in the description and also a link in the comment section where you can apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if we are fit to work together. I look forward to talk with you. Bye.